so you can mark it. See, that was Dion. What?
The mics are really sensitive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they told me.
Fancy Lee's okay.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
Oh,
Oh, Dion,
How are you guys?
good.
good.
Good, good, good.
Hey,
How are you?
Not too bad. Work, 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 and more work.
Doesn't go away, huh?
Man, I'm telling you, even worse with this darn pandemic. It ain't good for nobody.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
yeah. Doesn't make things any easier.
No, at all, at all.
How's your boys doing out there?
He's doing better. He got cleared and he was asymptomatic, so he didn't had no symptoms or anything. But he
Okay.
tested positive twice.
Yeah,
But you couldn't tell that he had it.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so it makes you think how many people are actually running around town that have it that we don't know,
Oh, yeah.
that are asymptomatic. We'll never know.
Yeah, no, that's
Unless
true.
they get tested, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of conversations towards that,
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's getting any better. I started listening to, they were talking about school and, how it should be essential versus, a lot of different talk out there now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Changes every week too.
It does, and what's the answer and it's scary. These first 4 weeks are going to be a learning experience, and I'm curious to see what our attendance ratio is.
Yeah.
And normally we're low anyway until after the holiday weekend, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. As of today, I think it was 3140.
Yeah, because I know usually every year, here in Grants that we've always been low on our beginning numbers, until after the holiday. Once the holiday is done, then our numbers pick up. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we're ready to roll forward.
Yeah, yep, it's scary. So
Yeah.
who's gonna? Is it just you and I and Richard?
I think Emily was going to get on Zoom.
Oh, was she? Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah, so it might be you and me and Richard and Emily. If not, it'll be me, you, and Richard.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, it should be a short agenda tonight. So.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, Sean Ray.
Hello, Sean.
You guys doing
Good
okay?
evening.
Yeah.
Good, good.
Okay.
It's a little hard sometimes to understand.
Yeah, it's some different mics have different
Yeah.
muffles on them.
We got Richard on yet or no?
Gotcha. Really short meeting. Richard doesn't show.
Yeah.
board.
Hello, boys.
They're waving at you.
Are we just waiting on Richard?
Now you can see it.
I said we're probably waiting for Emily or Richard so we can get started, Dean.
Okay.
Are you with us, Mr. Jones?
I don't see him on there.
Richard's here.
Oh, there he is.
I'm here.
We can get started.
All right. Call the meeting to order at 5:31. Sorry, I'm a little late. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Adoption of agenda, Mr. Perez.
Yeah, so good evening, everybody. Good evening, board. Everybody that's on. The adoption of the agenda, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask that we strike the item number 7, action item A, consideration approval of contract RFQ for Blue Water Elementary School replacement. We don't have all the information for that yet, so I ask that that be stricken until another time. And
Okay.
with that, Mr. Chair, I ask that we accept the agenda otherwise.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda with the changes.
So move.
Second.
Second, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Adoption of the minutes, Mr. Perez, any changes to that?
No, sir. Mr. Chair, board
recommendation?
members, I ask that the adoption of the minutes be approved.
Okay, need a motion on the minutes
So move.
in a second. I'll go ahead.
Second.
Okay,
Second.
okay, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
okay. Recognitions, Mr. Perez?
No, sir, Mr. Chair, board, and folks out there. There are a lot of people working hard out there and a lot of people to be recognized. And I'd hate to bring up a single person at this time, being that they're a lot of teamwork, a lot of employees, district staff, community members, parents, that all just deserve a recognition for working together through this pandemic. And we will continue to recognize them in our different ways. And when the time comes, we can probably start singling some folks out. But right now, I'd just like to make it known to the board officially that we appreciate everyone that's been in this journey with us to get through this pandemic day to day. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. Citizens to address the board. Mr. Perez, is there anybody tonight?
No, sir, we have received no request for citizens to address the board, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Presentations? Mr. Perez?
There are no presentations at this evening's board meeting.
Okay, consent agenda. We need action on that. Your recommendation?
Okay, Mr. Chair, board members recommend that we approve the consent agenda item this evening.
Okay,
I make a motion, we approve.
okay, you need a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Superintendent's report, Mr. Perez?
Yes, sir. Okay, Mr. Chair, board, audience, as you know, I've talked a little bit through several board meetings. One of the most recent board meetings when we discussed impact aid, we talked about the fact that there's a federal hearing that made a judgment that was leaned on the side of our districts to receive the full impact aid amounts. Because you know that's been probably a decades old battle, conflict with the situation in which the impact aid money coming into the state was distributed to across the state, and it was put into the SEG formula. We've been arguing that those impact aid districts that are should be getting most of that money, if not all of it, directly. That'd be Grand Cibola County Schools, Gallup McKinley County Schools, Central Consolidated Schools, Zuni Public Schools, and some other districts to a smaller extent that are impacted. Dulce, I think even Albuquerque receives some. But so the hearing judgment was that the state was to go ahead and give us the full 100% rather than the 25% that was distributed, and we got that amount. So we have continued arguing. As you know, we have asked for a hearing with the U.S. Department of Education, Office of Elementary and Secondary Education, to continue to push for the money that that is owed to the district. There was a disparity test administered with the state of New Mexico. The disparity test did not pass the criteria. Therefore, I was again asked that those funds be sent in a fuller amount to those districts that are impacted. We didn't believe that we still didn't receive the money as anticipated. Therefore, Gallup and us and Zuni, we are asked for a hearing. So we got a letter recently. We will have a hearing. Right now it's scheduled for Friday, August 21st. And at that time, this is called a predetermination hearing in which we will be participating in. And I will keep the board and the public informed about how that's going to proceed. So we're hopeful. So far, it looks like the legalities and the law is on the on our side as far as getting fully funded for impact aid. So that discussion, that debate continues, and I will let you know, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. I believe that's it. The announcements are, I'm
Let's
sorry.
have one more.
Oh, which, oh, the reentry updates. I'm sorry, Mr. Perez.
I should have. So before I move on, are there any questions from the board about the impact aid?
No, sir.
Thank you. I'm going to move on, if I can, with the reentry updates. You know, that's been our world for the last few months, and we continue to work out details and continue to get and gain new information. We continue to work with the constituents, the stakeholders, the community members, parents, and the Pueblos and Navajo Department of Ed to move ahead, move along. This is it's a constant work in progress. Information changes as the world changes. We have the governor's orders, which have changed slightly. That goes through the public education department, and then that information comes to us. Since we last talked here formally, we've been working on some quick guides, and the quick guides are just snippets of the total reentry plan that gives more direct, simplified information for parents, for teachers, and for different groups. There's one quick guide, for example, on Google Classroom and how to use the technology that we'll be using for the classroom instruction. So there's work that continues. The health information, we keep an eye on that. We're still working on the protocols for temperature checking, for example. We do have PPE on deck in place, hand sanitizers, disinfectants, all of those types of materials and supplies. In the last few meetings included meetings with Pueblo of Laguna, where we met with the governor and council and answered several questions and presented the plan to them. We've had some conversation with the Pueblo of Acoma. We had another meeting with the Pueblo yesterday, an effort to answer questions and to work along with those stakeholders as well. One of the, I have to tell you that the challenges remain. We still are working on childcare options to help support some of the staff. We are connecting with public education department is offering some help, which I reached out for to get some different ideas on how we might develop our childcare, at least work with the community to see if they can help provide some childcare services for not only our employees, but the employees, all the employees of the city and the county. So that remains a challenge. The other thing that remains a challenge is the internet access. And you've heard me say this before, and I will continue to talk about that until we get to a better place. But there are places that we just cannot reach. We're doing everything we can. We purchased jetpacks that will be putting out in designated locations. We have just several different options and contingency plans for those students who we just cannot connect with, which would include, if we can't connect, having packets, learning packets to go home with the students with some guidance around that. We are still considering, to a very limited extent, as a last resort, to bring in some students to the school who just do have no other option to connect via internet. So those remain challenge. The other challenge I have to make mention of, and I've talked about it last couple of board meetings, is our Chromebook order. We have all of them purchased and paid for, and the supplier is just not able to get it to school districts, not only across the state, but I think probably across the nation. Our order is anticipated to be here in the next few weeks. That last wave of the orders for Chromebooks. In the meantime, we're putting out some loaners for students who don't have devices at home. And once the Chromebooks do come in, we'll take the loaner back and then give the student a new Chromebook.
Hey, Max,
Yeah.
quick question. On those jetpacks, how much area does it cover?
I might have Raquel, if you're on, you might help me out with this one. But the jetpack, if you have, it's like a hotspot. If you have one inside of a home, you might have 2 or 3 children in a home. All 2 or 3 of those children can connect.
So it would be we would get jetpacks per household.
Yeah, not per student, and only for those that have the capacity to connect to the Wi-Fi, because we have to have the Wi-Fi in the area somewhere. And then those that don't have any other options for internet connection.
And that's what would revert to the jetpacks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's only for designated families and students that would meet all the criteria for that particular type of
It'd be for the outlying areas.
yeah, and there's a lot of folks in the outlying areas that have good connection. There's some that have zero connection, so it's a mix. And right now we're collecting data. I know that Renee and some of the principals, Dr. Barton, we're gathering as much information we can. And I think we're narrowing it down to homes and addresses. And we're going to learn a whole lot the first week of school and second week of school, and just finding out all of these continuing issues that we're going to have to work through. And we do not yet have a solution for every single situation, but it is our obligation and our responsibility to reach every single student. Leaving one student out is not an option. So it's going to be challenging. The people I talk to, the teachers and the principals and community people I talk to, I think people realize that we're going into this carefully, and we are going to have some challenges. We are to expect some issues, but I think each of those issues we'll work through. Each of those situations we'll work through, and eventually we'll get to where we need to be. I think one thing that's really important, we all have to become experts in virtual learning, because even as we begin to move students into the schools at any capacity, whether it's a few students, 25% or 50% of students, we have to always be ready to revert back to total virtual at any moment. So that's going to be like our backdrop. So we will always proceed to move forward with getting students to school, because we all want our students in the classrooms. At the same time, we need to be flexible and ready to be able to step back if we have to close a classroom or a school for any reason. So those are the kind of things that we're gearing up for. Those are the kind of things that we're making sure we have the equipment and personnel for. And those are the kind of challenges that I think we're going to continue to have for some time now. We are very interested in bringing back, particularly as the state is, the early grades. as soon as we can do that safely, and that being pre-K, kindergarten, first and second grades, because of the data that's out there, it's recommended that we lean on bringing those students back initially, more than the others. So Renee, Ms. Sanchez, are you on?
Yes, sir, I'm on.
Okay. Did you want to add anything to where we're at on the reentry plan since we met last board meeting?
Yeah, along with the challenges, what I noticed within the last week, we've had a lot of breakthroughs. I don't want to ignore the current reality of connection, but now that the principals are connecting with every family, they're receiving a lot of affirmation that Grants-Cibola County Schools has a plan in place, and they're starting to understand what we're facing with the challenges. So I talked to every principal today, and so far we have access to Chromebooks now, 5th grade on to 12th grade. 7th through 12th are ready to go. The principals are confident. We're working on isolated cases to where we're connecting with students, working with technology, with the jetpacks. We got a identified list secured. All the principals have sent out training for their staff. They have a guided protocol with the training for the next 3 days. Starting to see excitement. On Monday, there was a little bit of frustration because we're getting closer. As of today, started to see excitement and really good plans in place. So a lot of breakthroughs. We've connected with majority of our schools, and I calculated that in order to meet all criteria with Chromebooks, it looks like we're from, I don't know, 13 or 1400 down to 700. And so when that new order comes in, it will be a one-to-one device. And the good news is, we're planning for instruction at the traditional level, like Mr. Perez said. We're changing our learning platform, and that's the only thing that's changed. But over 140 teachers have been trained, and they're starting to bring in excitement along with nerves. Can't wait till the first day of school so we can get the reality and start connecting with the students that in a daily basis. But breakthroughs, finding more challenges as we have more celebrations. So good plans in place.
Thank you, Renee. And Mr. Chair, I'd like to add that, do you say that Ms. Hunt is on her? Okay. So the plan that's submitted to the state, the assurances have not yet been approved. I met with PED in our conversation with Acoma yesterday, and they're explained that the way it works is the process. They may ask us to tweak or change some aspects or additions or however that works. And then if we do get that back, if we're one of the districts that, or one of the many districts that get the plan back, then we've got to resubmit to the state by the end of August for a full approval. I'd just like to kind of add on to what Ms. Sanchez had said. I have to remind everybody that we are in a global pandemic. These are situations, and we're in an arena that we've never, none of us have experienced before. So it's obviously going to create some discomfort and some fear with staff, parents, students. So we want to ensure that everybody's knowing that we've got a foundation here, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to be okay. We're going to make the best decisions possible for the safety and to keep some good expectations, high expectations for the educational process. I have to remind everybody that as we move into this, it's not going to be a perfect situation the first week or two. So I'm hoping that the first week or two that at the school sites, at the homes, we use that as an adjustment period. We're not going to hold everybody's feet to the fire and expect everything to be perfect on August 10th. That's not the case. We need to work through this and get all the kinks worked through on a day-to-day basis. And we will get up and running, and we will hold fast to accountability, attendance, assignments, and keep our education going the way it should be. We all agree that face-to-face is the best. That's where we want to get to. But in the meantime, we're going to make it the best that we possibly can. So that's we're at. The only other thing I'd like to add, Mr. Chair, is that we're encouraging all staff, all GCCS employees to go ahead and get the testing done, just as another layer of protection for all of us. The testing is available for GCCS staff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Local Department of Health sent out a link for all staff who would like to get tested. Miss Sonia Hernandez, are you on? No? Okay. So Sonia Hernandez has set that up for the district, and that'll be ongoing for the next few weeks for GCCS staff. So anybody that can get tested, I think it will be comforting to some of our families and parents, and I highly encourage that. Tomorrow morning, all our staff, teachers are back for the first time. We'll meet with them at 8 o'clock in the morning via virtual video conference, and I'd like to give them a warm welcome back. This morning, we had the pleasure of inviting all of our new teachers back at a new teacher orientation this morning that went really well. A lot of good energy there. People that are coming into this, joining the JCCS school district, had good energy, positive thoughts, good, and ready to go to work. So tomorrow would be an early morning orientation, and the rest of the week we'll have the staff and the principals working at the school sites. The remainder of this week, setting things up, doing the best they can to begin to start the school year on Monday. And then we'll be working through the next set of challenges as we go through this day by day, week to week. So with that, Mr. Chair and board members, that's what I have.
Okay. Any questions from the board for Mr. Perez?
No, just like I said earlier, the next 4 weeks is going to be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to see where we sit 4 weeks into the school year. And as I was saying, we always start off low at the beginning of the year until after the holiday. Then our numbers usually pick up. So can't wait for 4 weeks from now. Just to see where we're at and how we're moving along. See what our numbers look like, and see if we're servicing each and every individual student throughout the district. And I just want to thank you guys, Max, your staff, for keeping on top of it. I know it's a lot, learning curve for everybody. Everybody's on board, so good teamwork. Keep up the work, and just keep us posted.
Will do.
Right. Okay, with that, I believe that's it. Just a little reminder to keep Dr. Guy's wife and Emily's husband. They had surgeries, so let's keep them in our prayers that they get well soon. I need a motion to adjourn tonight.
So move.
Need a second? Can I say?
I'm getting there second. Sorry.
Okay,
I thought Richard wanted to continue.
thank you, Richard. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, guys, thank you. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight. We'll see you all
Thank
later.
you.
Thank you.
Now we got through.
You go ahead and mute ours. Oh. Or we're done, or it's over. Huh? You record it now? Recording? Yeah.